Hey guys, my name is Eleanor Norberg and I'm a senior at DHS. I'm going to talk to you about choosing between the ACT and the SAT. So there are two types of standardized tests that you can choose from to take and then submit to colleges, the ACT and the SAT. If you are someone who typically likes to take their time on tests and carefully think each question through, the SAT could be a better fit. If you move through problems quickly and also like science, the ACT may be for you. The ACT is generally more fast-paced than the SAT because you have less time per question, and it also has a science section, whereas the SAT does not. There's no better or easier test. The key is to find which one better suits your test-taking style. To be more specific, the SAT has 154 questions and the ACT has 215. The SAT has a reading section that takes 65 minutes, a 35-minute writing and language section, and an 80-minute math section. The ACT is composed of a 35-minute reading section, 45-minute English section, 60-minute math section, and 35-minute science section. Also, the SAT has some science-based content woven into it, but does not have its own science section, as I said before. The ACT and SAT are also scored differently. The ACT is out of 36 points and the SAT is out of 1,600. To get an idea of how they compare, a score of 30 on the ACT would be roughly equivalent to somewhere in the 1360 to 1380 range on the SAT. I recommend taking practice tests for each and then seeing which one you do better on. From there, you can focus all of your studying on whichever one you choose. And when tests are available to take, make sure to sign up so that you have multiple chances to get a good score. You can take the test as many times as you want and can choose to send only your best scores to colleges. Good luck!
Hey everyone, I'm Jack Betancourt and I'm a senior here at Duxbury. I'm here to talk about tutoring and study options for the SAT and the ACT. There are a ton of great options when it comes to studying for these standardized tests. For many, finding a tutor is the best way to send them up for success. There are tons of options when looking for tutoring help, whether it is a local tutor or someone who is part of a much bigger company. If you don't know where to start, the DSU is definitely an amazing resource for all of this. I personally did a program at the DSU where I went in once a week for a few weeks leading up to my first SAT with a few other kids. This really helped me figure out what I was good at and what I needed to focus my time and energy on a little bit more. Then, before my second test, I worked with Linda Abelli, who I had met through that DSU program. She helped me work on those spots that I had identified as weaker points, and sure enough, she helped bring my score up. The DSU tutoring programs are awesome, and I would absolutely recommend signing up and giving them a try. Some people, however, prefer to study independently. There are some great options for those people as well. The College Board website has free practice tests that anyone can take to study for the SAT, and Khan Academy is also a great resource for SAT prep. The ACT website has the same resources for their own test. There are also a ton of books filled with practice tests for both the SAT and the ACT. When it comes to these tests, the only way to really improve is through practice. Whether you have a tutor or not, there are definitely great resources out there to study with. I know how much work studying for these tests can be, and it often feels overwhelming to try to navigate this stuff on your own. But you'll get through it, and I hope this video helped make the process a little bit easier.
Time management. During the test, it is important to try and manage your time wisely. Each question is worth the same amount of points, so if you find yourself getting stuck, skip it and come back when there's time. But never leave any question unanswered. After narrowing down some answers, even if you don't know the answer, always make a guess, because you could always end up getting it right. Make sure when you're taking the test that you pace yourself correctly. Don't go too quickly, but also don't run out of time at the end. Make sure you're always checking in with how much time is left.
Hi, my name is William Donahue, and I'm here to talk about some helpful tips when it comes to standardized testing. First, make sure you have enough time to take multiple tests before it's time to apply to college. Usually you'll see with each time you take a test, your score will continue to go up. Next, when taking practice tests at home, try to replicate an actual test. This means using a timer and not taking big breaks in the middle of testing. Lastly, figure out what strategies work best for you. For example, some people like to read and annotate the passages before answering the questions, while others like to look at the questions before reading the passages. Usually you can just take practice tests to figure out what strategies fit your test-taking style. Good luck!